Hey guys, Christian here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about engine reliability and overall engine health. I feel like it's a very popular topic amongst you BMW guys, whether your engine is healthy, if it's ready for tuning, is your engine going to blow up. Well, today I'm going to show you guys a quick way where you can gauge the health of your engine. And the perfect candidate to test is my 2013 335 with the N55 motor. I mean, when I bought this car, it was clapped the hell out. Maintenance was very questionable. And then lately I've been hearing a little bit of noise coming from the engine from the bottom end, which is very scary. Basic maintenance was already planned for the car, like valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket, control arms, fuel pump, water pump, you know, spark plugs, coils, and all that good stuff. Rod bearings were kind of up in the air. I was tossing it back and forth. And it wasn't until Ali kind of mentioned something that was pretty obvious, that the N55 in this car is pretty noisy compared to most, especially on the bottom end when you first start the car and you drive off. So we decided it's probably a good idea to do it anyways. Rod bearings is a very popular term with BMW engines. Whether you own an E46 M3, S54 engine, E90X M3, S65 engine, E60 M5, S85 engine, and sometimes even the N55, it's always a questionable thing whether you do or you don't. A lot of the times you want to do it for preventative maintenance, but it is very expensive to pay somebody to do it, and if you were to do it yourself, it's really easy to mess up. Luckily for all of us, there is a way to kind of predetermine whether you have a rod bearing issue and that you might need to swap them out, or if there's any other developing problem that's happening that you might not be aware of. This is all you guys are going to need. This is a test kit from a company called Blackstone. They did not sponsor this video, but I figured I would share this awesome test kit with you guys. Essentially what this company does is you'll send in an oil sample from your car's engine. They'll fully and thoroughly analyze it and give you guys a report card that shows pretty much everything. They test oil from not only cars, they do all types of vehicles, boats, planes, you guys name it. This is by far the easiest way to check your engine's health. You don't have to open up your engine and examine individual components. You take an oil sample, you send it to Blackstone, and they'll analyze things like different types of metal wear, additives in the oil, and all different types of microscopic contaminants. Guys, and the best part is that you can order this test kit for free. It doesn't cost you anything. They'll send it to your house. I actually ordered two to have one here on the shop just in case. You take the oil sample, you send it to them, and once they receive it, I believe they charge you whatever, $30 to $35, which is pretty cheap to be honest, especially if you're worried about maintenance. And then I think the turnaround time is like 1 to 2 weeks before they give you guys a report and a breakdown of everything that they found. They even say you can send them a sample with your own bottle. You don't need the test kit, but you want to make sure it doesn't leak on the way there, because that's not good. Everything you guys see here on the table, I really can't wait to get on the F30. This is all for the 335i, but I wanted to make sure we do maintenance first, then performance. But we got some CSF upgrades here, the front mount intercooler, the upgraded radiator, and oil cooler as well. Delphi coils, you guys know I've been a big fan of Delphi. Some engine case spark plugs, gaskets for the oil pan, and the valve cover, the bolts for the oil pan gasket, the M3 control arm, and an exhaust upgrade that should give me a good amount of power. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this table here so I can show you guys everything that comes in the Blackstone kit. It might not look like much, guys, but there's actually quite a bit that's packaged inside of this small black bottle. All right, let's show you what's inside. In addition to this black bottle, you also get this return packaging with a return label, which is very generous of Blackstone to do. We'll open up the bottle here. First thing you see here is the sample bottle where you're gonna put your oil in. You also have this absorbent material as well, which I believe once you take the oil sample, you just have to wrap it around the bottle just to make sure it doesn't leak. You get this little form that you have to fill out so that way they know it's your car, your oil sample. You got this very nice slip here. Shows a couple of pictures, I'm guessing, of their lab where they test the oil. Back of the slip, there's a few do's and don'ts. I'll read a few here. Do drive/fly for 15 minutes before sampling. It's okay if you can't, just make note. Do sample the middle of the drain system, though if you don't, that's okay. Do sample with a pump if you want to keep using the oil currently in place. Oil change is due for our car today, so we won't have to pump the oil out. We'll just take a sample once we drain it. On the right hand side, you have a don't. It says don't drink the oil. It's tempting, but trust us, you'll never get the taste out of your mouth. A little bit of sense of humor from Blackstone. So it seems pretty simple. You just take the oil sample, close it real tight, wrap it around in this absorbent material. You stick it in this plastic baggie that goes into the black bottle right here. Once this is filled out, you stick it onto the side of the bottle, and everything else goes in this white envelope. You put your return address right here on this section. That's it, you send it out. All right, let's take this clapper for a 15-minute ride, so then we can do the oil change and get that sample. This car really doesn't drive too bad once you're on the road. You wouldn't think anything's wrong with it. It's just, it has a questionable history of like maintenance. I know because I bought the car for very cheap and it was super neglected. But I don't know, I got Ali to drive the car the other day and I was sitting outside. You know, he just started it up and he was driving away. There's a lot of ticking going on, and it's not like, you know, injector noise. It's like from the bottom end. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe that's normal with the N55. But I figured I'll do the oil analysis. I'll probably do the rod bearings regardless, and probably even before I get the analysis report. I'm just really doing this video to help you guys out. But other than that, the car runs pretty good. I mean, the suspension is pretty much clapped. The control arms, the bushings are done. That's why I have the ones at the shop that I just showed you guys, so those will get replaced. But I'm excited for this car, and hoping that, you know, we make it to 500-600 horsepower without blowing it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this 335 on the lift, get the oil change done, and get the oil sample. Every time we get underneath this car, we find something new. Here's my under tray, fellas.
Nice.
It's like Jello.
Nice. Look at those cracks. Very nice.
This car just needs a lot of stuff, but we're taking care of it little by little. An exhaust, at one point, I haven't decided what I wanted, but we're definitely doing the downpipe, which is somewhere over there. That's it. Okay. We're supposed to try to get the sample somewhere in the middle drip cycle, which...
Now.
Do now. Oh, ninja, boy! Ninja!
Coming out like like water.
Don't scare me, bro. We're trying to see if it's mixed with water because we had that oil filter housing issue before where the expansion tank had some oil in it.
Why is this so black?
I don't know. It's only been like what, 1,500, 2,000 miles maybe. This looks like water mixed oil, bro.
Dun dun dun. Head gasket.
It's like a water fountain. I've never seen it come down like that.
Why is there so much oil?
You did the oil change last time.
Why is there so much oil?
Like I said, this car is just completely questionable. We were hoping that the oil filter housing gasket was the issue, why it mixed water with oil. It could be the oil cooler, it could be the head gasket. And maybe it's just, everything's fixed. Let's just say everything's fixed. We'll get back to this in a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and swap out the oil filter and inspect it real quick. And those people are gonna send me the report and it's gonna say, oh, there's 50% H2O in that oil. It's not a very pleasant smell. Does it look brown or blue?
That looks black as hell.
It's just a layer. Put your finger in it.
Yeah, let me just put my finger in there.
Put a screwdriver so you don't burn yourself.
Dude, it's like black.
Is it just the top layer?
I don't know, the whole thing looks kind of blackish.
That looks worse than when I first purchased the car. I'm gonna send this oil sample to Blackstone and they're just gonna send me back a report card that says clapped. I've seen worse milkshake before. We're looking for metal stuff.
Looking for your rod bearings in here.
This is normally, if you can find any kind of metal shavings there, it's normally a pretty good indication that your engine is on its way. Just kidding, but maybe.
Or like this one?
Or like a little metal sparkle right there.
Yep. Or like this one?
Lord have mercy.
Or like this one? Or like that one? Oh my god.
Sounds like we need to do the rod bearings before we get the oil analysis report.
There's more right there. There's some shavings in there.
Yeah, I can see them. They're shiny. I don't even know if it's visible on camera, but I'm looking at it in person.
This one you should definitely be able to pick up from camera. That's a big ass shaving.
Something with that one there? Yeah.
But that's metal because I touched it.
You sure it's not caca?
Well, yeah, well, it's probably your rod bearings.
No, so I put the label on there. It wouldn't stick. So I just put some tape on the side. 131,000 miles. Today's date, model 5W40. Just following the instructions. You gotta put this here in case it leaks. And then that goes into the plastic bag like I showed you guys earlier, like that. Tuck in the edges. The slip, I'm not gonna show you guys, I filled it out, put my credit card information so they can charge me for the analyzing portion of it. Close it up like this, make sure it's very tight. Filled out the front as well, return shipping address. Seal it up, and all I gotta do is drop it off. So for the F30, paints for me to say this, but it's just gonna sit right here until we get the rod bearings done, just to make sure. I'm just glad we were able to catch it early enough where it just didn't shatter the engine. If you guys have a hunch that something's wrong with your engine, maybe it sounds a little bit funny, don't take the chance, don't drive the car, order that free oil test kit from Blackstone, send them the sample, and just have that peace of mind. They'll sit here, I'll drive the M5 for the next few days until we get the rod bearings done on this car. I mean, I'm glad I purchased this car and nobody else did. Actually, a subscriber of mine almost purchased it and I beat him to it. He was actually in the waiting room. I'm glad I was able to save him this headache, because this car has a lot of things wrong with it. And you know, obviously I can make content for you guys so we can all learn together. But for somebody that just, you know, wants to just have fun with the car they just purchased, this one is not it. The next video on the channel is probably also going to be on the F30 since it's occupying a lift and we kind of need to free it up for other cars. We'll do everything maintenance related. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that video. Also make sure and hit the like button before you guys leave. It does help out the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.